Hi, well, my name is Evan Burrell, and thank you very much for that awesome introduction. My apologies that I can't be there in person to speak with you all today, but I'm there in spirit. But here is a presentation that I've prepared earlier. We're going to talk about social media and branding and all that other good stuff. So let's get on with it. Okay, so telling the Rotary story. Well, we need to make some big, bold statements about Rotary. It's really important that we get our message out there. And to do that, we've got to be passionate. So people respond to our love and our passion for Rotary. So like me, don't be afraid to show it. Okay, I'm not asking you to put on an outlandish, bodacious Rotary suit like that I've got here. But, it's incredibly easy for you to be able to tell, the Rotary story and be passionate, like wearing your pins, wearing your badges that I've got one here. Ask me about Rotary, or wear a bumper sticker that you're proud to be a Rotarian, or wear some cool shirts, give polio the finger, or, the four-way test. People respond to this sort of stuff. And if you're wearing it, on non-Rotary days, so if it's not your meeting, you can still wear your t-shirt down to the local supermarket or something. People respond to this, people see it, and it's a great way of starting conversations. And this is how we tell Rotary story. Because stories, they create action. They create action, my friends. And, we are people of action. We're also superheroes. We are like Rotary heroes. And I'm kind of known for the Rotary hero thing, but it sort of ties into our whole People of Action campaign, because a hero is an ordinary person doing things in an extraordinary way. And I truly believe that is who we are as Rotarians. We are all Rotary heroes from all walks of life. When disaster strikes or, communities are in need, we in our normal clothes, and then we put on the Rotary uniform, and like Clark Kent, we rip open the shirt and off we go to save the day. But okay, we're not all like, Superman. We don't rescue cats out of trees. And if that's a fundraising idea for the clubs in your district, and you've got a cat up a tree problem, great, go for it. But we're not reporters for the Metropolitan newspaper or lifting cars above our heads. But we do superheroic acts, like we're ending polio. We've been at the forefront of this for over 30 years to end polio. To me, that's superheroic. We're also transforming people's lives and transform the communities in which we live. We are change makers. We do make a difference. We also connect with each other and connect with our communities. We also inspire, and we are inspirational people as Rotarians. And we empower people. And it's that empowering spirit that drives us on. And we have fun. Hey, look, if I can jump up in front of the Rotary building in Chicago, then you've all got permission to have some fun. I'm a Rotarian. What's your superpower? And here's a gentleman, Noel Jackson from the United States, Captain Rotary. And so he took on board this idea about the Rotary Heroes, and he turned it into a great public image campaign in his district. Even produced his own comic book, The Adventures of Captain Rotary, a great PR exercise. Now, look, okay, it might not work for everybody, but a good for at least this guy's giving it a go. And that's what I want you all to do, and think about how we can market our clubs. And to do that, we need to be on social media. This is where the conversation happens. People don't rely on the newspapers or things anymore to get their information. It's on Facebook. 1 billion people are on TikTok each month. 900 million people are on Instagram each month. 2 billion are on Facebook. So this is where the conversation's happening. But with social media, though, it's not just about the like. It's about creating a positive story. So when people ask me, what does Rotary do? I simply say, we help people. It's what we do. We help people. It's what we do. That's my little elevator pitch. You see, social media is a visual medium. So I want to make sure that going forward, all the Rotary clubs that have Facebook pages, always make sure you've got a photograph that goes with it. Inspiring images, they get actions. Where will Rotary take you? So whether you're interacting with exchange students or ending polio, you need to tell some great visual stories. And this leads me to a great story from the Rotary Club of Woolgoolga there in New South Wales. They had a pelagic spearfishing competition. But what caught my eye on Facebook is, why is there a guy holding a fish above his head, and why does the other guy look like he's about to kiss it? Well, this is George at the front and John at the back, the auctioneer. And their club does this as a fundraiser. So pelagic spearfishers come to Woolgoolga and they catch the fish. Then the Rotary Club auctions it off. But it's a great photograph, and that's what captures people's eyes. So here's a couple of tips. So when you're putting photos up on social media, make sure you show happy people, lots of light, bright smiles. Steer clear of the cliches like the big check. Find interesting subjects. Find the hook. Whether you're inviting Darth Vader to speak at your club, or you're inducting the world's youngest Rotary Club president, or you're painting numbers on the driveway, or jumping out of shelter boxes, or ending polio from the bottom of the ocean. These are great visual images that capture people's attention. But unfortunately, these ones don't. Like the photographs from the changeover. Okay, these are boring. People couldn't care less about these photographs. So as my friend would say, stop it, don't do it. And the next image I see creeping into more and more social media pages is this, the photograph of the Zoom meeting. I mean, it reminds me of something from the 1970s. Yeah, the Brady Bunch. So let's steer clear of doing this. It's becoming a cliche. The next is we talk about when we give out awards. So this is my friend Gay, and doesn't she look absolutely ecstatic to receive the most prestigious Rotary Award? And I see these photos all the time. Okay, they look like they couldn't care less. But it's just reframing this photograph, taking that little bit of extra time during your club meeting to showcase the best of the person who's received it. So don't you think that's a better image? Just took a little bit of time, a little bit of a different angle, and how much better does that look? So here's a couple of don'ts. Don't post anything that's out of focus. Don't photograph people who are eating, or the backs and bums of people, pictures that make no sense, bad backgrounds, people not doing anything, like the gents down the front. You can't miss Rotary in action. Well, I'm afraid I did. And this recently, I saw this image. Double check the photos before you post. It can even happen to the best of us. My great mate, Andy Rajapaski up there in Queensland, his comment on this post is, what an awesome evening. Today, my home club of Burley Heads Rotary hosted our cluster of 5 Rotary clubs in Rotaractive in the Gold Coast to enjoy fine wine, food and friendship. Join Rotary to make lifelong friendships. Well, these 2 girls at the front, oh my God, it must have been the most riveting of Rotary meetings. Maybe they had, maybe the chicken put them to sleep, or a bit too much wine. So always double check before you post a photograph. And in social media, get some assistance. And if you manage your your club's Facebook page, add some page admins. Schedule posts in the morning and evening where people are likely to engage with it and interact with it. And set up a committee. Have a strategy about what you want to do going forward. Ultimately, though, what I want you to do is talk about Rotary. Talk, 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 talk. So what do you talk about? Well, talk about your key activities. What does your club do that differentiates it from every other club in the district? Whether you run car shows or bike classic or fun runs, talk about what your club actually does. Talk about your club projects. So if your club is involved in a water project or a Rorke's project, or an international community service project, talk about it. Talk about the connections that you have to your local community and businesses. Talk about your diverse speakers. And most of us know who's going to be speaking at our clubs the next week or the week after. Share their bio. You never know who might see this on your Facebook page and decide to come along to a meeting. The joke is, the Incredible Hulk came and spoke to my club just last week, and he talked about anger management. Thankfully, we didn't serve him the Rotary chicken. Talk about your club's diverse membership. Showcase the club members on social. Take a photograph of your club member and give a little bit of an interview and a bio and talk about them. Give them their 15 minutes of fame. Talk about our areas of focus. And this is important if you're running out of content ideas on what you actually should be talking about. Focus on things like the environment or peace building and conflict resolution, basic education, all the other Rotary areas of focus. This is incredibly important to get our message out there. But it's also about making it personal. And people can relate to the personal approach that you would put out on social media, like what I do with my own social media channels. So whether I'm being a Rotary rapper with the girls or painting over graffiti or attending a peace conference, people are buying into what I'm doing in my Rotary journey. And the same can apply to you. It's just about making it personal. So ultimately, what I want to do is I want you to talk about you. I want you to show your pride on social media. Change your profile picture. Are you a proud member of Rotary? And when I talk all about this, the great stuff to do on social media, we've also got to make sure that we get the house in order. This is really important. If you're driving past it and you see your sign like this, if this is what the sign looks like, what does the Rotary Club look like? So it can be easily done. Just making a few slight changes, taking away the old wheel, putting in the new branding. Most important thing that they've done here is they've added the Northbridge Rotary website. So when people go past, okay, great, there's a reason to check the club out. Now, if you've got connections with your local council, hey, maybe you can make signs like this or put a Rotary wheel on the roundabout. By all means, go for it, go for it. And I really would quickly want to talk about branding and logos, and I'm sure it's been beaten to you to death by your public image people over the last few years. I get it, I get it. But you all recognize this, of course. 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese on a sesame seed bun. So you think to yourself, well, that's McDonald's. I don't think the McDonald's logo's changed all that much. Well, you'd be wrong. Since 1940, McDonald's, the Golden Arches, has had these slight changes. Exactly like our own Rotary logo, since it started in 1905 with the simple wheel, all the way up now to our new, new, when I say new, it's 8 years old. But I want to talk, you obviously may recognize these people, or perhaps not, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Well, in Rotary, we have our own 4, well, not necessarily horsemen, but our 4 logos of the apocalypse. And these are the logos that I see all the time creeping in their websites and on flyers and pamphlets and social media. And we've really got to stop using it. This one, this is like the, kind of the photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. It kind of looks like the original, but it's a little bit different. Or this, the flat 1980s logo. Or this one, I call this the Liberace logo because it's all gold and gaudy. Or then the really boring sour gold one. Let's stop using these. If you see these being used, we've got to not use them. And it doesn't, look, even my friend Alexis, that's me pointing out to her that her Rotary tattoo now doesn't meet the branding guidelines. So this is our new logos. New, I keep saying the word new. These are our logos. So you've got the mark of excellence and the Rotary Master Brand signature, which you then would modify to put your own club name and club identifier on that. Your PI person can certainly talk you through that. So how can you help? Well, you are all the key to Rotary's public image. It's not just your public image director's role in the district or club. You are all part of it. It's all up to us to tell the Rotary story. So tell your story. Use the correct branding. Use social media. Got a couple of quick tips. So tell your story or your Rotary story with pictures and make them appealing. Don't overload your page. Post often, but just not too much. Encourage your members to buy into the power of social media and share your posts. Increase your visibility by tagging venues. For example, where you're meeting with your conference today, make sure you tag yourself at that venue. Get some assistance. Post content that's relevant to your audience and your community. Create a social media strategy for your club. Use scheduling and post at the best times of day. And be mindful of what you post and always try to keep it positive. And lastly, have fun. It's all about fun. If you can do me all a favor while you've been listening to me today, follow me on social media. I'm very easily found, Rotarian Evan Burrell, on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Everything that I put out on my channels is free for Rotarians to use if they can help them tell the story and share the good works of Rotary. And lastly, my friends, let me tell you, Rotary, we are the original social network. So I'd like just to thank you all very much for giving me the opportunity to present to you all today through this video, and hopefully you've got something out of it. And I wish you all the very best for the rest of your conference. See you later.